or relative to this school year. Every time I meet with the PTA, I ask them, what are we not doing that we could do better? And what do you want to tell us about that, is not the most popular topic? I'm always open to hear comments, as is everybody. So what else is on your mind?
I could give you a little COVID update for September. So I will share with you that the CDC and the DOH are changing the guidelines in a positive way. So there are some things that we've done this year that we may not need to do next year. So I will once again be sending out a survey to our parents, asking your opinion on various things like barriers, whether you'll send your kids to school, whether you use transportation. And also we will be probably asking to have parent meetings as we did last year, because that's a requirement for changing any of our plans. So we'll be doing that probably early July, just like we did this year, so we can be prepared. Some of you have asked if we'll have a remote program next year. I'm not a betting person and I don't have a crystal ball, but the vaccine at the very least, from the lowest age I've heard is 12, and I don't think that's going to happen. So my expectation is there probably will be some type of remote program. It may simply be the cameras being put on. I know Mrs. Saletti and Mrs. Folkson have some ideas for how to make it even better next year. So stay tuned for that. And that's as much information as I have on COVID for that. So anybody else has any other questions, or like Mr. Lucurdo said, you have other questions, please feel free.
Dr. Finn, do we have the school calendar out yet? What is the potential first day of school?
The first day of school is going to be a late start this year. I don't have it in front of me. I think it's September 8th. Not 100% sure, but I know that Mrs. Fredericks is working on that with the principals. So it is after Labor Day. So the little late start.
Thank you.
We always do 182. Okay. Anything else? Jennifer, do you have your regular PTA stuff you need to do?
I've got regular stuff to do. I'm on to now my secretary's report for Rushmore PTA. So I don't know if no hard feelings, if anyone wants to bow out, if Cherry Lane didn't want to listen to all of Rushmore's doings and goings on, but if they want to stay on, more than happy to have everyone. But no, yes, either way, no worries. We'll carry on.
And Jennifer, you want me to continue to tape, right?
That would be great. Thank you so much.
You got it.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Finn, Mr. McLaughlin, Mr. Lucurdo. Terrific.
I will say goodbye and thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for all you've done during the year. And just get out and vote. Take
Yes.
care, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Joe.
Jennifer, I think I'll stay on if you don't mind. I'll be quiet as a church mouse, I
Oh,
promise.
no worries. Great. Okay.
Nah, never happens, Gail.
No, not really. Behind closed doors, a little bit different. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right, go
So-
ahead, Jen.
So then, Krista, do we have minutes from last meeting?
Yeah, they're kind of long. I don't know if you want me to read the whole thing. I can read kind of an abbreviated version, and if
There you go. Sounds like a
Found them.
plan. If anyone had a question, I'm sure they can ask you afterwards. Perfect.
anyone can feel free to email me, and I can send you my entire list. But we had the treasurer's report that there was $18,130. The president's report, the spring fundraiser for Miss Chocolate, and the picture day was the 16th. There was the blood drive, the field day. There were some comments about the field day planning going on. The nominating committee. What else? The next meeting was today. Then we had the information about the accident that happened on from the principal's report on Westbury and Rushmore And I understand, well, that's not in the report, but that's a comment of mine I shouldn't make. But anyway, then the more discussion about the field day. Third grade report, they started fractions in math, worked on author's perspective in ELA, having a virtual field trip. The fourth grade report, more fractions, animal adaptations in science, and then more from the principal about state assessments. Mrs. Saletti was talking about how that would happen. I believe they've already had the first day, and then the math is this week.
Tomorrow. Hopefully all your kids are sleeping.
Yeah.
They're getting a good night's rest. They're gonna eat a good breakfast tomorrow.
Oh, so we should finish this so we can do that. And then there was fifth grade perspective unit, European explorers, models and algorithms for math. Sixth grade, the science fair had 10 students. They talked, there was a bit about the middle school visits, and a sign on the playground for masks. And that was pretty much it.
That sounds great. Okay. Any questions for our secretary?
No, I have to say, Dr. Farmer, I'm so impressed with your ability to self-edit while you're reading. You're like, nope, that's me. I'm not gonna say that.
All right. Can someone make a motion to approve our minutes?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Any seconds out there? Okay, Jessica.
I'll
thank you.
second it.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. Our treasurer's report. I'm not sure if our treasurer made it.
I'm still here.
She's here.
Oh, great. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terrific. I see you now.
This is her second meeting of the night. She's probably tired, but she's here.
You too. It's your second meeting too.
Okay, we have currently we made $750 in membership. Down. Can you hear me or no?
Yes.
Okay, back to school packs, we made $705. The fall fundraiser, we only made $500. Polo shirts, we made $130. School pictures, we made $2,140. That was from the fall pictures. Spring pictures still are not in. Restaurant fundraisers, about $200. Most of our expenditures still have to come forward, but there was a virtual field trip supplies, and the virtual field trip for the third graders, $630. We paid the council dues of $75 and the Barry Dennis scholarship $125. So we currently have $17,000 in the checking. But as everybody knows, most of our expenses happen now regarding field day, the sixth grade events, and hopefully the fifth graders get to experience something fun as well. That's all.
I've muted myself. Sorry about that. We will hold that. Maureen, who else do I have on my agenda? That looks great. Our corresponding secretary report, Mrs. Wigand, any news, any updates with any correspondence?
No updates in the correspondence area since last meeting.
Okay.
All quiet.
If anyone knows of anything, any birth
send it my way, for
announcements,
sure.
or please let her know so we can send things accordingly. That would be great. Next on the list then, that's I'm up. Okay. So I've got a few things. First, I'd like to say thank you to our teachers. It is Teacher Appreciation Week. We will be appreciating them as soon as possible, the staff as well, couple weeks. Look forward to that. If you haven't done so already, if you would kindly send in a $10 donation per family, we'd really appreciate that to make their appreciation their celebration rather, very special, because they missed out last year on that. So we wanted bigger and better, doubly so. We've got book fair next week in person. The children will be shopping. I'll send out that information tomorrow. We will need some volunteers. I'll send out that as well. Volunteers will need to be wearing their masks, be current paid members of Rushmore PTA, please, as well as complete the COVID screening on your app. The spring catalog fundraiser is still open online if anyone was available. School supplies will be rolling out soon. That's probably by the end of this week, Thursday. Lisa Grimes, thank you so much for doing that for us. Yearbook has been submitted. Thank you, Mrs. Weilert, for getting that done for the children in 6th grade. I'm waiting to hear when that will be delivered. Mrs. Elser-Gani is running a t-shirt fundraiser because the district, as Dr. Finn said, won, did Dr. Finn say that? I think, won the 2021 Community Education Award.
Best communities for music education.
Terrific. So we got it last year, this year, 2 years running. So now we're show our support with some t-shirts or
Nice.
some swag, an umbrella or such. So that'll be rolling out soon.
Just a comment on the umbrellas. They're big, fabulous golf type umbrellas.
Yes.
But unless we get 25, they can't be ordered. So if you want them, I fully suggest you pass that word on. I know Mrs. Tuscany too. Anyone who spends some time with sporting events, you like those big
You're right. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Especially after the crazy rain we had the other day at pickup.
Oh my gosh, that was it only lasted for the amount of time that the parents were picking up the children.
Exactly.
Of course.
Soaking wet. Okay, so I will make a note of that. I didn't know.
Jennifer, do we have the logo on the umbrellas?
I haven't seen the open.
I did look at it. There is a CP, but I think there's also a music logo on one of the straps.
Very nice. Great.
Okay.
Count
We'll
me
get
in.
that out. Okay, so minimum order 25 umbrellas, making a note. Great, thank you, Mrs. Saletti. Perfect. Our nominating committee. Anyone willing to step up from our Rushmore PTA membership? We do need one more paid member to be on that committee, please. We have our slate for next year needs to be determined. The president, my position is open for next year. We'll need a treasurer as well as a possible council delegate. Our other board members will be staying on. So we look forward to that, but we have currently Jessica, Mrs. Tucholsky, Nancy Wygand, Lisa Grimes, and Mrs. Gubbins from the community. We need one more. Anyone willing to step up to help out for our nominating committee in the next week or so to find some candidates for Rushmore?
See Mrs. Scotch's hand up.
Oh, I see
I'm
it.
happy to help as well.
Great.
I can't turn my camera on. You don't want to see what's going on in my house, but I'll help you.
Terrific. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll be in touch then. Everyone, perfect. Okay, so, thank you. I'm good. Oops, I'm just going to move my screen back. Okay. There are lots of open committees for next year as well. I will be posting that list soon. It is quite lengthy. Please get ready to take on a committee. There's so many opportunities for a variety of things, whether it's with the children, behind the scenes, everything, cross our fingers, is opening up next year. So we'll have field day maybe in a different way again next year. But we're going to need Jump Rope for Heart, I believe, is on the calendar. We'll need someone to chair that committee. We have a few people, a few things, but look forward for that. Unfortunately, I didn't see a meeting for us next month, so that date will be determined. I don't know how that didn't get on the calendar for my unit of PTA. And I made sure there was one for next year, though.
Have you seen the Ashton Kutcher commercial?
No.
It wasn't me.
Exactly.
It wasn't me.
I turned the calendar and I was like, I have no meeting.
It wasn't me.
No.
I'll make myself available whenever you need, Mrs. Bird.
Okay, sounds good. We'll be in touch. And please, whichever way anyone's voting, we have to get out and vote the budget, vote for your candidates on May 18th, right?
Yes.
That's correct. Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yep.
Okay, I think that's it for my report. Yes, great. All right, next. we will get teacher comments. All of our teachers out there still? We have teachers?
I see third grade, Mrs. Barneo's here.
Okay, Mrs. Barneo, are you up?
You're muted, Kristen.
Okay. Tag, you're it, Mrs.
Hi.
Barneo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
We got
thank
you.
you.
So I just wanted to start by saying, on behalf of the entire third grade team, we wanted to thank the PTA for funding our virtual field trip. It was a wonderful experience for the kids. They really enjoyed it, and it was nice that they got to do something this year with everything going on. Coming up, we have our second grade orientation where our third graders will be Zooming with the second graders to kind of introduce them to Rushmore and get them acquainted. We also have Battle of the Books coming up on May 25th. In math, we are all finishing up where some of us have either finished or we're finishing up our unit on fractions, and we'll be starting elapsed time, volume, and mass. We're also up to our last thematic ELA unit on relationships, and we'll be exploring texts and thinking about our essential questions. In social studies, we are learning about culture, various cultures, how students and kids from other cultures are similar and different from us, and also about the different types of governments. We'll be starting that soon. Science, we have been doing animal research, and we will be starting weather soon. And then I also have the report for fourth grade with me. So I will just open that up and I will read it. So the fourth grade is wrapping up their ELA unit on perspective and starting their fourth unit on relationships and interdependence. In math, they have been working hard on fractions and decimals. In science, they have been busy studying density and volume. And finally, with social studies, they are continuing their study of colonial America, specifically New York. In June, they have their virtual field trip with the Raynham Hall Museum. They selected Spycraft, which focuses on the art of spying, including techniques and strategies used. And that's it.
I was great at that as a child, spying. I had an older brother. I did a lot of.
I've never heard of it. It's interesting. Spycraft.
I do want to just mention, because tomorrow we did say is the math assessment. We are originally, New York State had said that last year would have been the last time the fourth grade science assessment would be given. Because it was not,
They lied.
because it was not given last year, it is going to be given this year. So last year's third graders who would not have taken the fourth grade assessment are taking it this year. We were very well planned for that. We've had Mr. Cunningham doing weekly push-ins with all of our fourth grade classes. They did modify, just as they modified the ELA and the math, to give us the option of just doing day one versus the 2 days. The performance assessment aspect of the science exam is being foregone this year, and we're only doing the short answer portion, which is going to be on June 7th. The kids are very well prepared for it. It's nothing to have them stress out or worry about. But next year is the off year for a science assessment. There will be no science assessment. It will pick up again where next year's fourth graders will be taking it in fifth grade the following year. So they won't take it in fourth, but that same cohort will take it in fifth grade. So it's not as if a group of kids won't be assessed in science. It's just a matter of when they're taking it. Sorry.
Okay. That's great. Thank you, Mrs. Saletti. Do I have fifth grade? Yes, I'm up to fifth grade. Ms. Gant?
Ms. Sussman and Ms. Gant are here.
Okay, great. Oh, I didn't see Ms. Sussman in the corner. Sorry.
I'm going to report, and Kathleen Clark's going to add to it. She's here too as well.
Great. Oh, the whole day. Okay. Oh, I see you now. There we go. Thank you.
But we've been extremely busy in fifth grade. We started off about 2 weeks ago. We had the CAPS program, which is now part of Safe Center. And they came in, not really in, but they zoomed into each classroom to talk about internet safety, which was obviously very worthwhile, especially since students now are constantly online. So it was really, really important to, I think, learn. Moving forward, we're going to on May 7th and 10th, our health unit on puberty will take place. I don't know why I segued into that after CAPS, but the female students and male students will be taught separately. Mr. Lorena will take on the boys. He'll teach the boys, and Mrs. Yannico and the other gym teacher will teach the girls. A letter informing the parents basically of what to expect also went out this morning. So for any parents that are 5th grade, they can definitely read that letter. That definitely has a lot of information on it.
Also,
mhm.
it includes some of the links to the videos that the children will see. So if the parents want to preview it prior.
And also some books as well, right?
Yes.
Mrs. Valetti?
Mhm.
And then also we're having our annual Battle of the Books, which will take place for 5th grade on May 25th. So that's really exciting. Teachers get definitely majorly involved as well. Mrs. Nelson runs the program, but I must say my class is yet to win. So I keep telling them we must win. So we're actually up against Mrs. Clark's class the first round. So, you know, we've exchanged some words, but the children really do love it. So, Ms. Clark, would you like to add to?
Okay, so the 5th graders are also in the middle of Zooming with Assemblyman Raw. He, after learning about the government, the New York State and the United States government, it's nice to Zoom with Assemblyman Raw and kind of get a Q&A session and how the New York State government works and what his role is. So that's very exciting. And we are also getting ready for the 6th grade visit, which looks a little bit different this year. It'll take place on May 12th. And 6th grade teachers will be coming to the students' classroom to kind of give them a little bit of a description of what next year's or what to expect in 6th grade. That's it.
Okay. Do it. And who do I have up for 6th grade?
Mrs. Tusa's in the house.
I see her there. Yes.
Hi.
Oh, what?
I
we're
like
at
your
City
background.
Field.
I am not
Joey.
really at
City
the
Field.
game.
I like
I'm
your
not-
background though.
I'll get there one of these days.
We all will.
So Ms. Clark had mentioned that they have the 6th grade teachers will be visiting the 5th grade classrooms just to give them an overview of what to expect for 6th grade. So we're looking forward to that. We have a PowerPoint that we're going to present to the children. And if they will have the opportunity to ask 6th grade teachers those questions so they feel comfortable for next year. With that, 6th grade did complete all their visits to the middle school. They actually were able to go to the middle school. They walked around with one of the teachers there. They weren't able to go in the classrooms, but they did get a tour so they know where the important places are, like the lunch and the bathroom. So, and they came back very excited. We answered some of their questions as well. So they're very excited for next year. And with 6th grade, we're also winding down to all our wonderful end of the year activities where they have the opportunities to do so many different things. That is, I'm so happy we're able to still do with these crazy times we're in, even with dividers. So they did take an ELA and math placement test. If they didn't take it, they will be taking it soon. I started talking to the students, the 6th graders, about some of the field trips coming up. I know they were disappointed, but I let them know it's what we're going to be doing. We're calling it Field Trip Week. Every student all the classes will be going to different places, and it's going to mirror exactly what we have always done. They're still going to get the opportunity to go canoeing. They're going to ComSet for outdoor educational studies of pond ecology. They're going to visit the salt marsh. They're going to get to go blacksmithing at Old Brookville and Project Adventure, which is all different rope courses. So they're very excited about that. So I was telling them what to expect. So they're excited, and they still get to sleep in their nice warm beds with a home cooked meal. So they were very excited about that, some of them. So it's nice having your own bed to sleep in.
In a lot of ways, it's taken the pressure off some students who really didn't want to go away. It's making them feel that they can have the same experiences. It's been very eye-opening speaking to the children.
Yes, yes. A lot of the children, especially in the past couple of years, they don't necessarily, 5 days, 4 nights was always a long time. So we took that out of the equation. We can't, but they're getting the same exact experience going on those field trips. So they're looking forward to it. They just want to get on the school bus and go someplace. So they'll be able to do that. And we're going to give them the opportunity for to get ready for middle school. And we're going to be giving finals this year. We'll let them know dates. They'll be very well prepared to get them used to, you know, a whole year's worth of work. But we give them what they need to do, just to sit down, take that test. What do I remember from September, October? And then we have our 6th grade, the dance yearbook. I've been in touch with taking pictures, sending them off, t-shirts. So it's an exciting time for the 6th graders. And then graduation.
Right. It is incredibly refreshing this year based on what we all experienced last year and the kind of sense of uncertainty and fear that we experienced at the end of last school year, and what were our kids going to face and what were they missing. We've done a great job, I think, in making sure that they were going to have some wonderful experiences. And I will say that Dr. Finn supported our field trips back in October, and she made a commitment. She said, it doesn't matter. They're going to do something. We're going to figure out something. So I appreciate.
How many times have I said that? We're going to figure out something.
We're going to figure out something. Come up with 5 plans. Don't sleep, but figure out. But I'm very, very excited that we're able to give these opportunities for kids. So I'm just going to jump in with my reports because I know I'm next on the agenda. Thank you to my teachers for being here tonight. Thank you to my teachers every single day. It is Teacher Appreciation Week, and I could not be a luckier principal on the planet than to work with the teachers that we have here at Rushmore. They are absolutely above anybody's expectations for what teachers and professionals should be. And I'm incredibly grateful and fortunate to work with them every day. And thank goodness they like to laugh with me, because half the time we're making it up as we go along. We just want to make sure the kids are having a good time. So luckily, it seems to be working out. As I said earlier, tomorrow is the New York State assessment for math. Our kids are incredibly well prepared. We have the benefit of having been in school since September. Our students are not missing. They're not lagging behind. I am not worried about our kids. I have to be honest. They are ready for these exams. And if they take their time and just take a deep breath and do what they do every day, they're going to be just fine. You know, I also want to mention that as we're trying to reopen a little bit and bring back some of our activities, we have 2 clubs that are actually starting at the end of the year. They're mostly for 6th graders, I'll be honest, because we're trying to give them some experiences. One of them is our Performing Arts Club. Mrs. Clark is one of our, Ms. Clark, sorry, I married you off there for a second. Ms. Clark and Ms. DeGeorge are the 2 advisors for that club. And in consultation and really in partnership with Mr. Lamone, who reached out to me and said, do you think we can? I really want to get these kids moving for middle school. I want them to be involved. I want them to understand that theater was still happening this year. They were doing remote things, but we couldn't do our version of it this year. So Mr. Lamone has partnered with Ms. Clark, and they're going to be starting those club sessions. I think we're going to do 3 or 4 sessions towards the end of the school year, where Mr. Lamone is bringing down some middle school, high school actors, or thespians, I should say, to work with our students. And we're all very, very excited. In addition to that, our book club, led by Mrs. Barneo, who is here, is meeting. And that I can specifically thank Mr. McLaughlin for. Mr. McLaughlin donated a collection of books. There is a book called Moonwing that was written by a young 11-year-old named Erin, who self-published her own work, which is a piece of fantasy work. And not only are we going to enjoy her creativity and her story, but the students are going to understand and learn from her process and her grit and her perseverance in taking a dream of hers and making it come to fruition. And that's an opportunity that our students are going to have, luckily at the generosity of Mr. McLaughlin, but also through the lens of Mrs. Barneo, one of our book club moderator. So I thank them both very, very much for that. Thank you to Mrs. Darpino, who, as soon as we told her that field day was a go, I think she's been in contact with us 24 times each day with new ideas and new questions. And she is determined to make this a wonderful, I forgot who you're working with, Mrs. Darpino. but I know you have a partner in crime.
Mrs. Wygand, Nancy.
Yes,
Wygand.
Nancy. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Wygant. I knew there was a partner in crime. Where they are working very hard with Mr. Lorino and Ms. Yannicone to come up with a very creative way. It won't necessarily be classes against each other, but we're going to have, I believe, 4 colors throughout the building. But each grade level is going to have its own period of time where they can go out and compete in all of the games. It's going to be a great day. 2 different days, actually. We'll have 6th and 3rd going on one day, 4th and 5th going another day. I know today they were talking to Mrs. Kara. They're planning lunches, they're planning ices. They're going for it. And hopefully we'll have sunshine and clean air, and it will be wonderful for the kids. A little bit of normalcy will come back into their lives.
It's go big or go home for field day. I'm just saying.
Again, a special thank you. Mrs. Weiler has worked tirelessly on our 6th grade yearbook. She's done a fantastic job. We appreciate everything. Our 6th grade dance committee also has been working hard. They're relocating everything outdoors. We are doing everything we can to make sure our 6th graders have a great send out from Rushmore. Battle of the Books is underway. One of my favorite activities of the entire year, where I get to hear kids recalling stories and becoming very competitive and so enthusiastic about the literature that they've read. It's really quite exciting. Whereas half the time I read books, I remember the story. I don't remember the author half the time. What was that character's name? I don't remember. You get the gist. These kids remember details. They want to win those points for their classes. So it's going to be a wonderful event. I really appreciate Mrs. Nelson. And because it is Teacher Appreciation Week, I want to give an incredibly loud shout out to a few teachers who've had a very difficult time this year, and you would never know it because I call them the little unsung heroes. They have kept their programs going without their own classrooms, without kids coming to them. Mr. Stanziali, Mr. Geluso, Mrs. El Sergani, Mrs. Shelley, Mr. Cunningham, Mrs. Cohen, those classes that are deemed, Mrs. Yannicone, Mr. Lorino, those specials, those teachers are so incredibly special in how they have taken their programs, put them on carts, visited the students in their own classrooms, packed up all their materials. It's been so incredibly different for everybody, but they've maintained the enthusiasm. And for Mrs. Nelson to be able to put together this Battle of the Books under these circumstances has really been quite extraordinary. So thank you to her and to all of them. I mean, I've said it before, I have the best building. I shouldn't really say it out loud, but I really do. So on that note,
You're allowed.
That is my report. Except to say that I'm very excited. We will be welcoming the 2nd graders in to do their little tours, which is something, again, we didn't get to do last year. Our 3rd graders came to us this year with really no knowledge of Rushmore at all. And they did a fantastic job. But this year we get to welcome our 2nd graders in. We're creeping back into normalcy, and it's going to be wonderful. And that's it.
There was a question put out there, Mrs. Saletti, Dr. Finn. How about parents to field day for the Rushmore kids?
Parents at this point are not coming to field day. Because we're not doing it one class at a time and we're trying to give the kids the full grade level experience, it would be a little too much. And I spoke to a couple of parents and they said they agree with me totally. But for right now, it's a student run event, except for the volunteers who are helping out with the lunch with Mrs. Darpino.
Okay.
We want to give them the full grade level experience, so we're limiting it to the kids.
We still have some rules also we have to follow with regard to outdoor gatherings. And I've been known to break a few rules on occasion. So I try to save those for like the really, really, really important, like moving up, graduation, that kind of thing. That's where I bend. Field day, I think as long as you have one, I am going to be very happy. So thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
And then next year, hopefully we can have, like a regular field day experience. So be just a little bit more patient for a little bit longer.
Okay, last question then, Mrs. Saletti, Dr. Finn, moving up day.
Moving up, we're in the process of multiple plans.
She's not kidding.
Well, I'm not kidding. We're planning for multiple contingencies. Last year we had a very nice drive-by. It was lovely, but I know that Dr. Finn's plan and her wish, and I believe the wish of everybody, is that we can have something in person. It won't be indoors, certainly, but weather permitting, we're certainly hoping that we can do something where families can gather outside and we can honor the kids.
Okay.
And where that will actually be is still up in the air. And Mrs. Saletti is also planning some type of indoor virtual-ish thing in case, God forbid, we have an outbreak or something. So we're not kidding when we say 5 contingencies. Everything has to, we certainly want to make sure we get something done. But I'm praying for an in-person event. It'll look different than it has in the past, but it'll happen, I think. Pray for good weather. Rain date.
Yes. Okay, great. I think were there any other questions out there for Mrs. Saletti? Guess I asked. Okay. Then we have committee reports. Mrs. Darpino, did you want to elaborate on field day?
Do I have a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wanted to thank everyone, to Mrs. Saletti and to Mrs. Yanacone and to Nancy Cara for helping out. And, you know, this happened very quickly. So it was a lot of back and forth in a week. I was just so happy. So I kind of just like flew with it and did as much as we could. So I'm happy that the kids are going to get somewhat of a field day. So basically, like she said, it's going to look a little different. It's going to be the class stays with their class and divided into colors, but they're still going to have ices and they're going to have events, all going to do each event, which is great. So, and we were talking about like maybe just try pictures to capture for the parents. That's still something to discuss and figure out. We're ordering them bandanas for each color. And we're ordering them water bottles. So nobody has to, like special field day water bottles. So nobody has to conjugate at the water cooler. And they're getting lunches, the free lunches. So that's exciting. And they're gonna eat outside. So that's, you know, we're getting more than we thought we were gonna get. So we're happy about that. Who knows, maybe in a month from now, we could revisit the parent thing. I don't know, but we'll just talk about this. It is a month away. It's still a month away.
It's definitely a month away.
Yes, it's a month away. Look at how much change, whatever. But anyway, I'm happy for the kids to be able to get it because it's a fun day. Oh, the one thing is that it's going to be one grade at a time. I don't think you mentioned that. They're doing like a half day kind of.
It is one grade at a time.
Right. One grade at a time, but they're going to be active the whole time, which is great.
Right.
Whereas normally there's a lot of sitting around and going back to the stands and they're not this time. They're just going
All
to be on the
students-
field.
All students will be doing all events.
For over an hour and a half. So it's great. It's a lot of activity. It is. I love them being active.
Right.
They need it. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Darpino. Let's see. Do I have Mrs. Weiler to talk about the yearbook? Or Lauren to talk about the party? No. Anyone else? Anything else?
Mrs. Birch, you can tell her to contact me about the yearbook signing so we could set something up with the teachers for dates and stuff, because we had some ideas as well, where it could take place.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. Okay.
I've been sending her a ridiculous amount of pictures too.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All righty. Anyone else have anything else? New business? Lots going on. End of the year. End of the year push. No?
Can't believe it. It's almost done.
No.
A
Wow.
few more weeks.
That's it. All right. Then I guess we're adjourned. 8:56. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Stay safe. Again, go out and vote on May 18th, please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Jennifer,
giving me
thank you
the
very
time.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Nice to see
all.
everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Bye now.
Good night.
Okay, here we go.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. And you'll forward me that whenever.
I
Send it.
shall. I will make a tape of it. What I
Yes.
think I was going to do is maybe do the tape of the board members speaking, and then a tape of, I can break it into 2 clips.
I would
for
have
YouTube.
no idea how to do that. Okay.
I don't know
Sounds-
how, actually Yanni does, but anyway, have a
Oh.
great night.
Thank you, you too. Appreciate
Thank
everything.
you so much for giving me the time. Appreciate it.